In a previous video, I showed how I could automate a command line task using a serial port connected to a Raritan PDU device. In this video, I'm going to show how we can automate command line tasks on multiple Raritan devices simultaneously. Now, to do this, we're going to run all of this, instead of under Windows, we're going to use it through a Linux system, which I've logged into here. Now, I have a small file here that contains a couple of commands to send a show PDU command and then wait for a prompt. And using a expect script that I've written, I can specify a Raritan device, the username to log into, the password to use. Again, this is an environment variable that I've set up previously. And then if I specify that command file, logs in via secure shell, runs the command and exits. Now I can run that command again, but in this, because we're on Unix, I can save the output and any error output to a file. So nothing appears on the screen, and when the command is finished, I can look at the output, and there we've got the output in a file, and I'll just check that there was no error output, which there wasn't. So the next stage, I wrote a shell script that, a few tweaks, that will basically read a command file called PDU list. Sorry, we'll read a file with a list of PDUs, names in it, and it will basically run that show PDU command script on each one. So take a quick look at the PDU file. So there are 20 PDUs that it's going to log into. So I'll just run the script. We'll see here, it tells us what time that it's starting and how it logs into each one. Each one's taking, I don't know, a couple of seconds or so. Now, when I was using the previous automation with the serial port, using a Windows automation solution, I couldn't use the machine for anything else while it was doing this. So if, for example, if I started up a web browser, that would break the automation in my previous solution. But because we're running on a Linux box, it's fine to it's happy to run away in the background regardless of what I'm doing. So if you had lots of these to configure, you could still continue to do some productive work on your machine. So we're almost finished here, and let's take a look at it. So that's taken 38 seconds. It's taken about under a minute, about 46 seconds or so to do 20. Now that's still taking a bit of time. Let's just check that it did do what we wanted. So those are all the error files. They're of 0 size, so there weren't any errors. Let's look at the output files. They've all got something in them. So let's look at the first one. And that's the output from the PDU called blade cluster _1. So I'm going to remove all of those files. Go back. I'm going to make a slight change to my script. You don't really need to know how this script all works, but it's just a very slight change. Just adding that little character at the end there. What that'll do is when it runs the PX CLI expect script, it immediately puts it into the background and it runs independently of the script, and then it will go through and then put the next one into the background almost immediately afterwards. What we then do, just uncomment these two lines, and what will then happen is we then wait for all of the commands, for all of the background commands to finish, and then we're all done. So now let's run the script again with those changes. Look what happens now. Very quickly, it prints out all of the PDU names. They're all running in the background. We're waiting, and now we're finished. Look at that. It did it in 4 seconds to do 20. And just to prove that it did produce all the output again, those are the error files, and those are the output files. Again, let's just have a look at one of them. And there we go. So, using a combination of this expect script, a file with the Get it right there eventually. There we go. Just shows these are live. The show PDU command script, a file containing a list of each of the Raritan devices which I want to run those commands on, and a very short shell script that just runs the command on each one and waits for it all to finish. I've got a very powerful tool. I could change the content of the show PDU file. Get it right again. And I could put in any combination of send and prompt lines in there to do configuration, extract other information. In fact, here's an example of one, add roles.command, where it's setting up roles to which users can be associated with. So that's how we can automate command line tasks on multiple Raritan devices simultaneously. If you have any questions, please get in touch. Those are my details, and thank you for watching.